Madam Deputy President, I rise to speak on the Water Management Legislation Amendment, Stronger Enforcement and Penalties Bill 2025. First up, I want to thank the Minister's Office for the briefings and for taking the time to speak with our office and the irrigators. Unfortunately, the same could not be said for the regulator. When we had our briefing, we raised some of our concerns directly, and were hit with a stone wall and were literally told to do the math ourselves. If you're going to swing around penalty multipliers and black box valuations, you should be able to show you're working like everyone else. We're not asking for favours, farmers aren't asking for favours, we're just asking for fair rules and straight answers. And if the regulator can't front up with transparent methods and timely decisions, it's the regulator, not the irrigator, who's failing the test. Water theft isn't on. If someone cheats, everyone else pays. Towns, downstream users, the environment, the honest farmers who are running their farms by the rules. The problem here isn't the goal, it's how this bill goes about it. It swings too wide, hits too hard, leaves too much to discretion, and that's a bad mix when people's livelihoods are on the line. The bill leans heavily into big administrative penalties and value of water calculations that can balloon fast, often off methodologies the government sets later. On paper, that looks tough. In the real world, it's a black box. Farmers deserve to know how the number was worked out and have a fair chance to correct it with actual data. If the math is invisible, the trust won't be there either. The bill also creates overlapping enforcement tracks. Put simply, you can end up fighting the same fight twice, once under a civil route, then again criminally, or vice versa. Most people would call that double dipping. If the state wants to take a swing, pick a pathway and get on with it. Don't force small operators into a two-front war they can't afford. Then there's the lag. The look-back window is too long. 6 years might sound neat in a briefing note, but out there where the work gets done, it means families living under a cloud for season after season, never knowing if an old estimate is going to land on the kitchen table. If a case is there, bring it promptly. If it isn't, move on. We can't ignore the practicality either. This is Australia. Floods, lightning, dust mice, you name it. Meters fail, communications drop out, roads wash away. This bill tightens duties without pairing them with enough common sense grace for when things generally go wrong. We want crooks caught. We don't want decent people punished, though, for acts of God or some contractors' wrenches slipping. On the top of that, the bill adds tough powers: seizure, forfeiture, benefit recovery, and the ability to point someone to do the works at the landholder's expense. If you are going to swing these powers around, you need rock-solid guardrails and affordable appeal rights. Right now, that balance isn't there. Now, I know the political arithmetic. The government, with the Greens in tow, can likely push this through. And yes, the Greens rarely miss a shot at making farming harder. But our job isn't just to nod this through because it looks tough. Our job is to call it when a law is tough in the wrong places. We believe in harm reduction when a bill looks like it might pass. So that's why we'll bring a small targeted set of amendments in committee, and I'll briefly go through them but talk them properly later. We're looking to shorten the limitation period for civil penalty actions and charges for water taken from 6 years to 3, so matters are dealt with promptly and families aren't left in limbo for half a decade. We want to stop the double dipping by preventing a civil penalty case where a criminal prosecution for a substantially same conduct is commenced, and requiring any civil case already on foot to be dismissed when the criminal matter starts. And we're going to fix up a couple of cross-references and tidy up some residual lines so the enforcement scheme reads cleanly and works the way Parliament intends. These are modest common sense fixes. They're not about shielding wrongdoers. They just make sure the law bites once, bites fairly and bites in time. If the government truly wants compliance, not just headlines, here's the recipe. Most people in the regions would recognise clear rules, transparent maths, one pathway per offence and timelines that let families sleep at night. Put the heaviest penalties on the worst conduct, not on paperwork stumbles or weather disasters. And when the regulator acts, be straight with the public record. Distinguish allegations from proven breaches, record outcomes and correct the record when matters are withdrawn or overturned. In small towns, reputations travel faster than the facts. The law should help the truth, not muddy it. In our view, this bill doesn't get the balance right, and we'll argue our amendments in committee to limit the damage if the numbers carry it, but at this stage we can't support the bill. But I want to once again thank the Minister for the honest engagement we've had with her department, with her and her office, and we will keep working in good faith with the Minister But on fairness, practicality and basic natural justice, we think this bill misses the mark.